only. So they're very long, skinny, single-celled things, these rhizoids, and they look like that under magnification. These ventral scales, which they don't look like it here, this one's pointed backwards, but they hook underneath the rhizoids and afford them some protection. The ventral scales are multicellular and protective in their nature, all part of the gametophyte plant body. Okay, we won't see this detail, but what do you think this is? What's that? And it pertains to this life cycle here. It's that thing right there. Those are the cupules. So this is going to be asexual reproduction. If you look down to those cup-like, spittoon-like structures, and if you look down in the bottom, you will see knobs of tissue in that cup. These are called gymmate. If these are dislodged and dispersed, they could give rise, each one of those could potentially give rise to a new gametophyte plant body. It would be a clone of the parent that gave rise to it. So this entire structure is associated with asexual reproduction. Let's look at some of the other structures. Well, what are you looking at here? See this? See the gametophytes down here? Those are the gametophyte plant bodies. You see these parasols with the finger-like projections? Archegoniophores. You see them all in there. There's a bunch of female plants in this particular tray. And they are producing these archegoniophores, and the archegoniophores produce and elevate archegonia on the underside. You'll remember. If you look at the deep, there's one in detail, looking at the top of it. Here you're looking at a section. Here are these finger-like projections. There are the archegonia. Sometimes when they take the section, the neck breaks away. So there's a neck that broke away, just as an example. On a few of them, you might be able to see the neck. Well, now we're looking at one in some detail in which the neck was preserved. There's the neck. Here's the venter. There's the egg. The three critical parts of archegonia. So archegonia produce and house eggs. You see the neck, looks like it's clogged right now. That's all going to break down, serve as a sperm attractant. And there are the three parts that I've discussed. What's this? Term of this? This is the male counterpart to the archegoniophore, called a anthoridiophore. So you can just morphologically, anatomically, see the difference between the two. So there's an anthoridiophore. What's it going to do? Produce and house anthoridia. Each individual anthoridium, of course, is going to produce sperm. Here is a section of an anthoridiophore, and there's the top of it. You see these chambers in there. Each chamber has a little wall, which is the wall of the anthoridium. The sperm developing on the inside pours through the top, will open as this thing matures. Sperm will be able to escape and swim to their intended destination. There's the anthoridial wall. There is the spermatogenous tissue. Sperm will develop from this tissue on the inside of the anthoridium. And now this is how Mother Nature would intend it. The boys and the girls are all mixed together. You can see right in here are male plants with anthoridiophores, and there's some females scattered in there as well. Okay, so hopefully splashes of water or whatever means will get sperm fairly close to the intended mark, and then we'll need some swimming to occur to complete the journey. Okay. And so when the journey is completed, the eggs in the archegonia on the underside of the archegoniophore are fertilized, and sporophytes begin to develop. There they are, these monsters that begin to stick out from underneath the eaves of the archegoniophore. And for many of these, even at this sort of low level of magnification, you see this dark tissue layer down there? That is the, you remember from my drawing over here, I put it in pink?
Placenta.
Placenta, that's right. Now, it's hard to tell. I'll show you a better picture. There's one right here. You see that placenta? Is that layer 2 in or in? It's hard to tell because it's right at the interface between the two plant bodies. This tissue all down in here is gametophyte. Starting right here, it's sporophyte. That placenta is of gametophytic origin. It is all in, so the placenta is produced by the parent gametophyte. It's in. It is a transfer layer. Nutrients go from the gametophyte through the placenta to the sporophyte. As you look at this sporophyte, you see right there's the foot, there's the sega, this part out here, that's the wall of the capsule, and you can see these red spores developing on the inside. See this layer of tissue right here? Follow it up. It's gametophyte, isn't it? Goes up right here, breaks right there. There's another one on the other side, breaks right there. Do you see it? That's called the calyptra. Okay, it was the wall of the venter. It's been stretched now because this sporophyte has developed. If we look in here in some detail, I told you that you would see spring-like structures, and yonder they are. Okay, they are called elaters, and as they dry, they suddenly will spring forth. Capsule will be open at that point, and the idea is that it can help disperse the spores. These things have got to catch some wind, though, if they're going very far. Okay, they are fundamentally wind dispersed. All right, so you see some of these spores are red, and some of them aren't. That's just indicative of different stages of development. Usually within their dark red, they're haploid. They have matured, and meiosis is occurred at that point. Any questions or problems about that? I'm going to go really quickly through the mosses because the structures are a little bit different.